You look in here, everything's pretty much the same. The difference, Omotoso has been a professional longer. Vasquez had a really nice amateur career, well over 200 amateur fights. And the rules, they're the unified rules for this one. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and the fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and the fight is official after 4 rounds. Both men are in the ring. Let's get the official introduction. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the MGM Grand Garden Arena from Las Vegas, live on CBS. This is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 10 rounds in the welterweight division. The 3 judges at ringside: Robert Hoyle, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Dave Moretti. And the referee in charge of the action, Robert Byrd. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He wears the gray and black, impressive as a professional. He brings 25 wins, 21 by way of knockout, with just 1 loss and 1 no contest by way of Lagos, Nigeria. He fights out of Melbourne, Australia. Introducing Wale Omotoso. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, proudly, he wears the camo and stands undefeated as a professional. 18 victories, 13 by way of knockout, with no defeats, from Monessen, Pennsylvania. Introducing the Sergeant, Sammy Vasquez Jr.
1-1. This one is scheduled for 10 rounds.
Gentlemen, I gave you instructions in the dressing room. One thing I'll remind you of now is when you hear me say stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing and give me a clean break. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Have a good fight. Gentlemen, let's do this. Yes, sir.
Robert Byrd with the instructions. Here we go, round 1. Vasquez in the camouflage trunks. Wale Omotoso in the gray trunks with the black trim.
Right away, we see Vasquez start establishing the jab. He's in an advantageous position right now, trying to get Wale off balance. That was a nice lead, right left hand to the stomach. He's establishing his rhythm.
Vasquez, as you can see, he's a southpaw. Double jab by Omotoso.
Again, Omotoso will at times show you a really good jab. It's a lot harder to jab out of southpaw, but he's showing a really quick jab. But again, just as we said earlier in the broadcast, you want to switch the speed on some of those shots, especially the jab, because it's usually the shot that you find the range with and set up shots with.
Left hand to the body by Vasquez. And a right hook.
Wale Omotoso is making the mistake of standing in front of a sharpshooter like Vasquez, and Vasquez has already closed the distance, something you don't want a southpaw to do this early, and he needs to back him up instead of letting him come forward and dictate the pace right now.
Yeah, Omotoso kind of sitting there waiting right now. Looks like he's looking for a big shot to catch Vasquez on the way in, but Vasquez being real creative right now, mixing his offense well, hard to time him.
I was getting ready to say that, and you put it right there. He is mixing up this attack, and he's looking good early on.
Yeah, Vasquez using the jab, connected again with the left hand. We've hit the halfway point here of round 1. You know, Vasquez said, I've heard a lot about Omotoso's power, but I don't believe it can hurt me. There's nothing. Vasquez says he hasn't seen that he believes that would be advantageous to him.
What's so beautiful about what he's doing, he's taking what Omotoso is giving him. That's 4 accurate shots right to the midsection. Omotoso cannot afford to let this continue to happen.
Omotoso says he wants to be a national name. He believes a win over Vasquez will get him the recognition that he really desires.
Wale Omotoso's legs are extremely wide, which is enabling him to go forward like he needs to.
And usually when your legs are wide, you're looking to sit down on something hard, but the problem is you can't change the range or change the rhythm. You can't step in the way you need to when they're that wide.
Exactly.
There's a hook on the way
There's
out.
a check left hook by Omotoso. Vasquez counters it, though, with a left hand.
Seems like Omotoso right now is just shooting jabs and trying to steal Vasquez on the way in.
Final seconds here of round one. Vasquez connects with another jab to the face of Omotoso.
It's like a defensive posture. He's looking to kind of let Vasquez reach in and maybe try to catch him with something. But Vasquez, as we said earlier, Virgil, real creative, hard to time him.
And when you have a jab like Vasquez, that's not going to be something that works because he's able to keep his range accurate with the jab.
A little nick between the eyebrows of Vasquez, right?
Yeah, he does. Most of round one was fought in the center of the ring where it is right now. There's a three-punch combination by Vasquez.
Vasquez changes the angles beautifully.
And another left hand.
He did exactly what his coach, Charles Leverett, asked him to do. He asked him when you go to the gut right here, step over to your right so he won't get the uppercut because he was looking for it. And he just showed indication of it right there.
Yeah, Omotoso missed with the right hand. Vasquez countered with the left.
Omotoso's going to have to start letting his hands go a little bit more. He's almost sitting there waiting. He's trying to shoot jabs at Vasquez and then trying to wait on the return of Vasquez to try to counter him. But he can never time it because Vasquez returns with different shots each time. It's a jab. It's a straight left hand. It's to the body. It's to the head.
He has to make Vasquez the counter puncher. He has to go forward. If he continues to let a southpaw come forward in this stance, he's going to get picked apart all night.
Yep. And part of counterpunching is anticipation. When a guy's as varied as Vasquez is, it's hard to anticipate what he's going to lead with.
Omotoso, 30 years old. He's been a pro for 9 years from Nigeria. Here's a good left and right to the body by Vasquez. As Paulie pointed out, his nickname is Lucky Boy. He got it from his tough upbringing in Nigeria where he just fought on the streets. Led him to boxing at the age of 19. Only had 48 amateur fights compared to Vasquez, who had 200.
Vasquez does have to be careful to get too confident, though. He's come in a couple of times and left himself wide open. Having his way right now, he still has to remain focused because Omotoso can punch. It only takes one.
Another left to the body by Vasquez Jr. Vasquez is out of Pennsylvania, right outside Pittsburgh. It's just his fourth fight outside Pennsylvania. He's a big draw. Usually brings in like thousands of people to watch him fight Pennsylvania. Under 30 seconds here in this round. Got well over 200 people here today.
Good left hand by Vasquez.
Here's another left. Vasquez found the target with that left hand, and again.
Omotoso's going to have to come up with some answers, guys.
Vasquez dominating with the left hand here in round two. Now, Omotoso has not fought a southpaw in 5 years. Last time he fought a southpaw was basically back in May of 2010. But he said, I trained 8 weeks for this fight, sparred with Hugo Centeno. So he said, I got good sparring. Does that make a difference? If you haven't faced a southpaw in that long of a time, does that make a difference for you?
Good sparring always makes a difference. It all depends on his approach and the game plan that he had for Vasquez. You can spar all day long, but if you don't have the plan to go along with it, you're getting in condition, but do you have the mental plan? That's the question. Right now, he's trying to find some answers.
Just got popped with a jab, Omotoso did.
Omotoso's going to have to change the look or start feinting or something. He's going to have to be a little bit more creative right now. It's just that same stiff jab. And Vasquez has the timing on it.
And Vasquez pounds him against the ropes.
And Omotoso's feet are stuck in the mud, too. He can't close the distance the way Vasquez does.
They are. Vasquez very light on his feet. And what I like about him is, and what I think is very important, he still shows some of his amateur pedigree, which is crucial in pro boxing when you need a rest and when you need to be effective in land punches to keep the rhythm change up like he showed right there.
Blood starting to trickle out of the left nostril of Omotoso.
Nice double.
Yeah,
left
left
hand
hand by Vasquez. You know, Omotoso told us in the fighter meeting the key for him is pressure. He said, I got to pressure Vasquez, make him go backwards. We haven't seen that yet.
No, he's waiting on him. He's trying to counter. There's a sharp little counter from Omotoso, but he's going to have to do more leading.
Now, if he understands what he just did, he punched with Vasquez. Again, he did it again. And not pull away. He's pulling his hands away from him when Vasquez is stepped, but this time he stepped with him. And that's his only chance right now to change this fight around, and he needs to be intent on that.
But the punch with a guy means you got to take a chance.
You have to step when he comes. You come with him.
Is he willing to take that chance?
Yeah. And because Vasquez is showing him different rhythms for taking his body in different positions, he has an opportunity to capitalize on that.
There's our stiff jab by Vasquez.
Vasquez's jab is controlling this situation right now, so Omotoso's going to have to step to him. Right
Another
there,
jab in the left hand. Right hook misses Omotoso. Four-punch combination by Vasquez. Vasquez hands down, feeling comfortable and confident. You're watching PBC here on CBS. Welcome back. You're watching PBC here on CBS. Sammy Vasquez Jr., Wale Omotoso. We talked about the difference in pro experience between these two, and there's a big difference in amateur experience. Vasquez Jr. well over 200 amateur fights. Omotoso just 48.
There's a sharp counter there from Omotoso. And Omotoso's body language is a bit more aggressive coming out this round. I think he might have been told in the corner that he needs to get things moving, or he's going to risk falling way behind in the fight.
There's a couple of left hands by Vasquez Jr.
And that's the risk of getting aggressive, Virgil, right? You might walk into some counters.
Vasquez has nice footwork, and he's able to change angles, but this is his only chance. And Omotoso landed a couple of those right hands towards the end of the round.
And he just landed one there, a good counter right.
Right there we see Omotoso. He has his hands in more of a attack position as opposed to a defensive position. So he knows he has to step forward and make this a fight. He cannot lay back and let Vasquez just pick him apart like that. Right there he waited.
Combination by Vasquez.
That's the thing. If he punches when Vasquez is done punching, that means Vasquez is already out of the pocket. You're going to have to find him all over again. You got to punch while Vasquez is still in the pocket to be effective against him.
And he has to keep his hands in this position. Now, you see him throw a roundhouse right that completely took him off balance and not come back with the left hand to bring him on balance. He has to pinpoint that punch, Paulie, in the right position to come with both hands.
Another 1-2 by Vasquez Jr. And you can see when we talk about top prospects in the welterweight division, you put Errol Spence aside because he is really ready for a big-time fight. I mean, Vasquez is right there, as you pointed out, the top, Virgil, knocking on the door.
Oh, good body shot.
He is knocking on the door. He has ability to give any welterweight in the division problems because he does have skill. He has a great amateur pedigree, but as I mentioned before, he's battle-hardened in two capacities, a veteran and also a veteran of this ring.
9-year vet of the National Guard, 2 tours of Iraq.
And speaking of Spence, I think Spence is the one that beat him in the Olympic trials.
Yes.
To go to the 2012 games. So he's right up there among that level of prospect.
2 losses in the amateurs to Errol Spence Jr. and Amir Imam. 2 of the best right now, young best.
Vasquez showing he's among the best too. There's a good right hand though landed by Omotoso. Vasquez smiles, but Omotoso's got to get things moving a bit more consistently. It's been Vasquez who's been the more consistent fighter throughout.
Oh, left hook.
That's what he has to do. He has to punch with him.
And
he cannot pull back. He has to let his punches go.
And that's the thing, Virg. He maintained his positioning there. Not only did he punch with him, but he held his position and punched with him.
He was in great position. He got another one through, but he needs to balance himself with the other hand before, and not just throw that one and leave himself out of position. But he's done much better this round. He is working his way into it somewhat.
Good action in round 4. This is round 5. We are scheduled for 10. Sammy Vasquez Jr. in the camouflage trunks. He's undefeated. Taking on Wale Omotoso, who has just 1 loss.
had some good action last round. It seemed like Omotoso came out with a more aggressive body language in the last round, but Vasquez was there to answer him. So it's some good two-way action in the last round. The difference, I think, is that Vasquez is throwing more in combination, and Omotoso is still throwing one at a time.
He is, and the reason why he's able to throw in combination, Paulie, is because, again, Omotoso has his back leg so far back, he doesn't realize when he takes his back leg back, he also takes his right hand back. Absolutely. And takes it further from the target. He has to bring the right leg under to bring the right hand closer to him, and he'd get that punch off sharper, and then he's off balance to get away from the counter.
And by contrast, Vasquez's balance has been very well, both on the defensive end and the offensive end.
Exactly. His legs are bent and they're under him, so he's able to go in and out effectively.
Under 2 minutes now here in round 5. There's a left to the body by Vasquez.
I love how Vasquez does not neglect the body. You know, for a cutie type of boxer, what we mean by a cutie type of boxer is, you know, guys who use these fancy little moves and feints and whatnot. For a cutie type of boxer, you know, he doesn't neglect the body. A lot of those type of boxers tend to be headhunters, but Vasquez really made a concerted effort to get to the body throughout this fight.
Robert Byrd just admonished Vasquez to get the punches up. There's a left hook by Vasquez. Omotoso back with a right hand. Oh! Mouthpiece comes flying out.
Sharp shots by Vasquez on the inside.
We talked about Vasquez service in the military. He provided support to those in firefights, and he finds himself in a firefight here in Las Vegas.
And he's up for the challenge, man.
And he's a true representative. He has all branches on his shorts. That's a true veteran.
Another check left hook by Omotoso.
That's been one of the bright spots for Omotoso, is that check left hook counter.
Vasquez took a step back after that left hook.
Paulie, it all starts with the feet and position. And so there, he's only able to throw one punch. He has to lurch himself forward, and he's there, and Vasquez simply counters him.
Yep. That was a problem. He has to reach with that right hand because his foot is so far back. A sharp right hand there by Vasquez. That cut him. That cut Vasquez. The sharp right hand by Omotoso.
Blood coming down the right side of the face of Vasquez Jr.
Oh, that might be up with the headbutt. They might have clashed heads. That's usually not a punch if it's that high.
Will this...
That's got to be a headbutt, guys.
And that's the round. This is round 6. Our referee, Robert Byrd, says that cut from Vasquez Jr. came from a headbutt.
Yeah, anytime it's up that high, it's either a elbow or a headbutt. That's a bone-on-bone collision causing a cut like that. The leather on the gloves won't let the cut open up.
We've come to the halfway point of this fight. Left hook again by Omotoso. Let's bring in our unofficial score, Steve Farhood. Steve?
Brian, easy fight to score. Vasquez punching more, Vasquez is landing more, and he's landing the cleaner shots. And as far as that butt, should the fight have to be stopped because of the cut above Vasquez's right eye, the fight is official, so that would go to the cards.
I like the effort Omotoso's given here. He's got to pressure Vasquez. But again, Vasquez's better technique on the inside is still allowing him to get the better of those exchanges, Virgil.
He's getting the better of those exchanges, but he's leaving himself open a little bit because he's so confident right now. He still needs to fight a structured fight, entertain the viewers, but still keep in mind to stay structured and disciplined.
But if Omotoso is going to land in those exchanges, he's got to better the technique a little bit and shorten up those shots.
He does. But he's at the point now, Paulie, he has to just simply punch. There's no other option for him now. He has to punch and he has to just go for it. Strategy is over with. He just has to punch. He has to go for it.
Well, both of these guys have been down just once in their career. We're halfway through round 6. Leading left hand there.
You see how Vasquez changed the angle after the left hand, step around to the side.
Another left hand by Vasquez.
Paulie, does this seem reminiscent of the Vargas fight when Omotoso cannot figure his guy out a front run on him? He sort of just lays back and lets the other person dictate and looks for a Hail Mary punch.
Well, in spots, it's become that. I mean, Omotoso came out to start this round very aggressively, but it seems like Vasquez has now domesticated him for the rest of the round. Omotoso has to stay consistent with that pressure because it's his only chance, really. He can't go technique for technique with Omotoso. As you see right there, even inside the pocket, he still can't touch Vasquez.
Crowd chanting Sammy.
Well, he just has to let both hands go. He has to understand that it's no other way but to put both hands together and go for it.
Yeah, I think he even has to make this fight a bit more physical, man.
He does.
Push Vasquez around a little bit, man.
He does. He has to go forward, and he will get chances because Vasquez is very confident right now, and he's leaving himself open. He's dropping his hands down.
Low, yep.
But he has not abandoned the jab, and that's the thing. You got to get by the Vasquez jab.
And he pops Omotoso with that left hand again. Final seconds here of round 6. This is PBC on CBS. This is round 7. Omotoso's trainer, Eric Brown, imploring him, be aggressive, cut the ring off. You hear him now, cut the ring off. Yeah. Brown is a great trainer, one Paulie knows very well.
He certainly is. At this point, he's got to move his hands, his feet, and cut the ring off all at once, man. He's got to get things going.
There's that right hand, but it went right over the top of Vasquez.
Well, I hate to beat a dead horse, but again, he landed his right hand, left his right foot back, so he can't come with the other hand and the left hand and the second right hand.
And that's the thing, Merge. I mean, the combinations are not coming out because of that. You know, and Vasquez's better balance is allowing him to throw the combination, so it's shinier. The judges see a lot better when the combinations are being thrown. So Vasquez's better work is clearly showing.
And that's why he's landed, as you see there, over 50% of his power punches.
And again, it's amateur pedigree, being at the top level in the amateurs.
There's a right hand by Omotoso.
Yep, you learn all that stuff in the amateurs.
The basics.
Yep.
Swelling now in that right eye of Vasquez Jr.
Omotoso wants to throw everything so hard that whether he lands or misses it, his body's off balance to throw the rest.
Now right there, he threw a right hand and brought his hands back in a defensive position instead of letting the left hand go and also the second right hand. This is what he has to do.
Well, you know, Paulie, at the top of the program, you said he's got to change speeds. Have you seen any of that with those power shots?
You know, a lot of times he hasn't really not only not changed the speeds, but you can't even really tell because he's not really leading a lot. You know, it's been mostly Vasquez getting off first, and that's been Omotoso's main problem is he's got to be the one to get off first against a guy like Vasquez. Vasquez's balance is so good, if he gets off first, he's going to come off in combination.
There you can see the swelling more pronounced on the right eye.
Vasquez first. Look, watch how many times Vasquez is first. Omotoso waiting, right? He's in range right here. He's got to get something off. Instead, he's waiting. He's waiting. And Vasquez first again.
Yeah, pops him with the jab.
You're not going to be the counterpuncher against Vasquez. It's just not going to happen.
You have to step to him.
Not if you're Omotoso. He's not that kind of fighter.
30 seconds left here in round 7.
Right there, as he dropped the right hand, he brought his body right back into the line of fire and got countered.
There's a right hand, Omotoso!
And why? Combination punching, and that got Vasquez holding. That got Vasquez's attention. Combination punching, Virgil.
Exactly. And also, Paulie, again, Vasquez has gotten reckless. He's confident, so he's leaving himself open for a Hail Mary shot. And now he's
another
getting
right
into
hand
this
by Omotoso. And that's the round. This is the 8th round. Eric Brown,
another nice right hand.
Yep, the trainer of Wale Omotoso said use that right hand, throw punches. You got to keep coming after him. You'll wear him down.
And that's the thing about now. Vasquez has character. I mean, he's been an Army veteran. He's got character. But this comes down to professional experience. Vasquez has all that amateur experience, but we're in rounds 8, 9, and 10 now, where Omotoso's professional experience may come in handy.
And it appears to me he's drawing Vasquez into his type of fight. And the veteran instinct is coming out of Vasquez, too.
This is something he's accustomed. He's been in firefights before. There's a left hand, and Omotoso rocks backwards. Uppercut,
nice
Omotoso.
That busted his nose up. Good two-way action.
Omotoso gaining confidence by the minute. Great instructions from Eric Brown. Both hands, you have to be a dog.
And both of these guys have got knockout power. You see there past 7 rounds. Vasquez 2-0 with a knockout.
They both swung hard there for the fences.
Yes, they did. There's a big left left hand by Vasquez Jr.
Both guys showing the wear and tear of this fight. Skill and will being shown.
You see all the special forces coming out of Vasquez right now. He's not going to lay down for this one. You want to fight? Let's fight.
And Omotoso not backing down himself.
90 seconds here in round 8. Crowd chanting Sammy.
Well, let's not forget Omotoso had to survive as a kid, too. You can almost count his life experiences to that of a veteran coming from the region of Africa that he came from. So he knows hardships also.
Another left hand by Vasquez Jr.
Right before the left hand, Omotoso had a chance to throw that combination. Threw a nice right uppercut, but didn't follow with anything, Birch.
I think what we got here now, Paul, is slowly is going into a war of attrition here.
Yep, and a lot of times that's what the late rounds come down to, is fighters' fatigue.
Under a minute here, round 8. Vasquez Jr. Bloody, swollen, but still working it out with that left hand. There's another right by Vasquez. Here comes Omotoso. Center of the ring. Fist are flying here at the MGM Grand.
The body shot he snuck in there by Vasquez.
Oh, boy.
Omotoso rocked with that left hand.
Better technique by Vasquez, winning the exchange there. Shorter punches.
Vasquez took 2 deep breaths, Paulie. He's a little fatigued right now. Maybe expended a lot of energy early on. What we have here, folks, is a dogfight. This is great for our viewership. 2 determined men with everything on the line to get into the door of the welterweight elite.
Final seconds of round 8. The winner sets himself up for a big-time fight in that welterweight division. Body shot at the bell. The instructions from Eric Brown as we start round 9.
Brian, he couldn't have put it any better.
Yep. Brutally honest.
Let's bring in our unofficial score, Steve Farhood. Steve?
Brian, you look at the faces of the fighters, you might assume Wale Omotoso is winning this fight. I don't think he is. As a matter of fact, I think he definitely needs a knockout to win. Rounds 7 and 8, much closer than the previous rounds. I still gave them to Vasquez. I thought he did the more effective punching. So I have Vasquez way ahead.
All right, thank you, Stevie. So Stevie's got Vasquez pitching a shutout. There's another left hand by Vasquez.
Neither guy giving up, though. Both guys still
Yes, they are.
believing they can win the fight.
Center of the ring. Both of these guys in a phone booth.
Now, Omotoso's doing something nice when he's in close. Now he's throwing short uppercuts. If he brings a short hook off with that right uppercut, with Vasquez's right arm down now, he might land a good shot to change his fight around. Whoever walks through this door tonight really earned that step.
90 seconds left here in round 9. There's another stiff left hand, but here comes a counter right by Omotoso.
I think Omotoso wobbled Vasquez that time, that short right.
And another accidental headbutt has opened another cut, this time on the left side.
Man, yeah, and that's the thing, when a right-hander versus a left-hander, a lot of times those head clashes happen.
Okay.
Sammy Vasquez Jr., as Steve pointed out, looks a bloody mess.
There's a chance for Omotoso, man, because you don't know how clearly Vasquez can see out of that eye. Omotoso may be able to sneak in a big right hand. I would be going right hand crazy right now if I was Omotoso, Verge.
I would go right hand, left hand, and everything crazy.
You don't know how good
one
Vasquez.
shot could close this eye and really start a situation where the doctor even gets involved.
Here's the right hand by Omotoso. Fist flying here at the MGM Grand.
The thing about it, if you don't see the shots coming, you know, the wrong shot hits you, the fight is over.
That's right, the fight is over.
A guy who can punch like Omotoso has that chance, but Vasquez hanging tough.
One thing I do notice, Omotoso is carrying his power late in this fight. Vasquez still sharpshoots, but Omotoso's really punching. Vasquez has to thank his skills today.
There's a left hand by Vasquez. Another left. Right hook misses by Omotoso.
Good action.
Oh, PBC on CBS. 10th final round. Sammy Vasquez Jr. is undefeated. He had stopped his previous 8 opponents before going the distance against Emmanuel Larte. That was in his last fight in February, and it looks like he may go the distance again here against Wale Omotoso.
Don't change the channel yet, folks. Somebody might go down this round.
Oh, no.
Omotoso coming out knowing he needs that knockout and fighting furiously. Vasquez looking up at the big screen for the clock.
Second time we've seen him tie up.
Vasquez Jr.'s cut man, Mike McSorley. Doing a good job sealing up those cuts.
Paulie, Vasquez's fatigue has kind of kept him in the pocket a little longer. Now he's not using his legs as much to get out after he hits. He exhibited good range there, though. That's where he should stay. And just finish this fight out and make Omotoso have to fight hard to come get him.
Yeah, just keep it basic. You know, if you're ahead on the scorecards, use that jab. Make Omotoso earn the real estate. Stay on that jab.
How about that? Vasquez just stepped to him. He said, come on, let's fight. He pounds the body of Omotoso.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous.
But he wants to make it fun for us, I guess.
Because what you have to consider as he moves up the ladder is his tendency to cut and bruise. And that's something that this corner is going to have to take consideration.
Body shot. That was a good body shot Vasquez just landed. That stopped Omotoso on his tracks. Omotoso still hasn't thrown a punch since. He might be catching his breath. Omotoso's still not punching. I'm telling you, man, he might be catching his breath from that body shot Vasquez hit him with.
Well, you think Vasquez doesn't know what he should be capitalizing, or does he have the energy to capitalize?
Who knows? At this point, though, you know, it's up to Omotoso to take most of the chances, you know?
Big overhand right misses by Omotoso. But the left does it by Vasquez. We're under a minute left in the fight.
Omotoso waiting again. This is it. He's got to go.
Oh, a left hand by Vasquez. And a right. Right hand Omotoso.
You're right, Verge. Vasquez now off his offense is not able to escape the pocket as quickly or as fluidly, and he's there for Omotoso's return sometimes, which can be dangerous against a guy that can punch like Omotoso. Vasquez continues to do some good work, though.
20 seconds left in this fight.
Omotoso's lack of balance has helped him out, too, particularly after the 7th round.
Final seconds. What a fight. We are live inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This was a competitive, one-sided fight. The judge's official decision is in. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your judges' scorecards at ringside. Judges Robert Hoyle, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Dave Moretti all score the fight exactly the same at 98-92, all for the winner. By unanimous decision, the Sergeant, Sammy Vasquez Jr.